Well, it goes back to 1997, 10 years ago, when a group of architects and facility planners for schools went down to Honduras and found a need for some help in the construction of schools in rural villages. The existing schools were either non-existent or were very small, often with very little windows, maybe 600 square feet, and maybe having as many as 40 students in that small space.
This past summer, I did some work in Honduras with SCW, and when I was there, I realized two things. One, Honduras is a beautiful country that has the potential to become fully developed. The second thing I realized is that they need our help. There are some areas in Honduras where the poverty is evident. There are children that are not even attending school because they need to walk hours to get to their school on unpaved and unsafe roads.
I can't imagine. I don't think our kids would be able to walk 2 miles to get to school. I think, many of our kids live around the corner and they get dropped off, right? They get driven or the bus picks them up. And also they come to school and they're well fed and they're dressed for the weather and they're healthy. They have drinking water and running water in their homes, and so they're not worried about disease, and they're safe, and it's a safe place for them to come and learn as well. So I can't even imagine them not having those conditions and being able to learn. For any learning to take place, they have to have those basic needs met first. Otherwise, they can't. I don't think they can come to school ready to learn if they're hungry or tired or scared.
Schools for Children of the World, about 5 or 6 years ago, joined hands with the Honduran government and created a master plan of needs of schools by surveying the entire country and itemizing at each school site that they found what the facilities were, the numbers of teachers, the numbers of pupils, so that ultimately when all of this data could be centralized and analyzed, one could rationally see where greatest need was.
And what we did was build a classroom of 800 square feet with lots of light and lots of space in it. We provided the furniture, and sometimes where we could, where there was electricity, computers. We actually are touching and working with the community. In fact, when we start a school, we make sure that everybody in the community, in the village, agrees to help. They provide the labor for building the schools.
The children in Honduras deserve the same opportunities that I've had in my life. To attend a safe school, to be transported to that school, to receive a good quality education.
People like myself that have been in the construction industry and the design industry for a number of years, I would say have been treated very well by it. We've done well personally. I've been in the education industry for 26 years now, and I've done very well by it. I've enjoyed my work, I've learned a lot, and as such, having learned a lot about schools, I think it's time for people like myself to give something back. And I think you give something back to people and to countries that have less than you do. And you try to match your skill set with the needs of a country and give them something that they can sustain themselves.
When I first learned about SCW Canada, I couldn't help to feel proud of living in this country where I had been given the opportunity to do something for education, right in my birth country, Honduras. When the people at SCW described the conditions of most of these rural schools, I knew what they were speaking of. I've been there, I've seen it. I'm very happy to be involved with a project like this. I think giving back is the highest enlightenment in our lives.
And when you look at the faces of the children, and when you listen to the parents and teachers speak, you realize that they are full of hope. They are really hopeful and very proud. And I think if we combine our resources and our expertise, what SCW does best, with their spirit and their enthusiasm, then we can improve the quality of education in their region.
And we now call ourselves Schools for Children of the World Canada. And we have fundraisers once or twice a year. And we hope that when you review this, that you'll be interested in not only coming to see what the work is that we're doing, but also possibly think about giving us some help financially.